All right, thank you again for joining and welcome everyone to the Virtual Agent Academy. We did take 1 week off. It feels like forever, but we are back and at it again. Well, let's get started. I'm just going to go on ahead. Before we get started to the main topic, I wanted to share our additional resources. We have our Virtual Agent NLU community. Feel free to go there to see our latest content from experts and also ask questions and provide answers. As members of VA Academy, I feel like you are all experts already, so definitely, please visit there and take a look. If you are watching from YouTube and you like what you're seeing, click that like and subscribe button down below. All our Virtual Agent Academy videos are recorded and posted on YouTube, as both our recent ones as well as ones all the way from last year as well. So feel free to check those out, share them to your colleagues, to your friends, to your family even, if they're interested. All right, today we're going to talk about using geolocation and virtual agent to provide direction in Google Maps. So it's going to be very slide light. I've got one slide, and then I'm going to go straight into building an experience where someone on the ServiceNow virtual agent can not only find their location, but also find directions using Google Maps. And I've got my mobile phone on the side here. We're going to do a mobile exercise in a bit too, so stay tuned for that. All right, there's our agenda, overview, exercise, Q&A. If you have any questions during the presentation or during the academy, feel free to pop them into the Q&A section. My colleague, Paul Van Nistelrooy, will be there to handle any questions. I'll answer questions too if I see them or if Paul asks me. So feel free to put them in there. So today, the slide portion is we're going to use the geolocation topic block, which is a very powerful topic block. It's out of box. You just drag it into the designer. You'll see that in a moment. And it will be able to return you a latitude and longitude as variables, which you can then use for your different workflows, right? The other thing to call out is it does require user permission. So if you're on a mobile phone, you do require geolocation permissions for the mobile app. If you're on a browser, it'll work on a browser as well, which you'll see in a moment, but it does require you to enable permissions in your MacBook or in your Chrome browser or Safari browser. So, the fastest way to troubleshoot this topic block is if you can't find a location, it is most likely a permissions issue. Some other features we're going to see in today's demo, HTML, that's, has been around for a while. Very simple scripting, don't worry, no need to be coders here today, but after today, you'll feel like you are a coder. The Now mobile app, as well as image as header for choice. You see an example of that on the left-hand side here, that both the geolocation topic block and the image as header for choice are Roam features. Many of you, I know a good portion of you are on Roam right now, so if you're on Roam, you can use these features. All right, with that, let's get started with the exercise. Some prerequisites, obviously you need our virtual agent. If you want to demo this on mobile, you will need the Now mobile app, which you can download from the App Store. You will need the Google Maps app, which you can download again on the App Store. And you do need a Google Cloud account, which is free. And they give you a bunch of credits for like 6 months. And then even if after that expires, the API we use is free, I believe, which is the Google Maps API. So you'll see that in a moment as well. All right. So with that, let's get started. I'm just going to hop out of my slides here and go to my instance. So this is Virtual Agent Designer. Okay. And I'll show you what the experience looks like. So I'm gonna go to here, and I'm gonna click test, and I'll show you what we're building, and then we're gonna build it. Okay. So I hope you all can see the pop-up, my VA tester. Now, the first thing we're going to do is search for the person's geolocation, and I'll show you that my geolocation, yep, I am in the office. I am in Santa Clara. If you're nearby, feel free to come visit. I don't mind. But then we're going to ask them, hey, what's service office we like directions to? And I give some options here, either Santa Clara, San Diego, or Amsterdam. Let's say I want to drive from my Santa Clara office to San Diego office. I'll click San Diego. And not only do I see a map of San Diego office, but also open maps for Google Maps. So when I click that, it'll open Google Maps and send me directions to to the San Diego office of, a 7-hour and 22-minute drive. Okay, so that's the experience. So now I will show you how we build that. Okay, so I'm going to call it directions to SN Office, ServiceNow Office 2. It's going to be a topic. Oh, before I start, the first thing we need to do is the topic does use iframes, and you do need to enable iframes. And in order to do that, you go to Sys Properties. And you do need to enable iframes for Google. Otherwise, if you try to do it on web, you're not going to see much. Here we go, enable media sites. Yeah, so it's glide.html underscore dot enable underscore media underscore sites. And I've got a bunch here, YouTube, Player, Vimeo, Vimeo.com. I think I have Google in here. I do not. Okay, well, if iframe does not work for you, I would look at this system property. I'm just going to include Google in here. Maybe YouTube is rolled under Google. I don't know. I'm just going to include it just for good measure. Okay. So with that, there we go. I've created my topic. All looks good. I'm going to go back to here, give myself some more real estate here. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is add that geolocation topic block. Okay, so I'm going to add a topic block and type geolocation. And then the prompt is there by default. Would you like to share your permission? The user has to click yes, otherwise we're not going to take their their information. Okay, so after that, you could probably add a text here, say like, retrieving user location, because sometimes the geolocation topic block takes a while, but that's purely optional. And then we're gonna present the user with their location. So it's good practice to show the user where they're at before you give them directions, because you want to make sure that they are where they want to be. This is your current location, right? And then when that map to show the user's location, we used a script output node. Okay, and I'm going to explain why in a moment. Okay, so this is basically going to show the Google Maps of where the person is located. Okay, and it's basically an iframe of a embedded Google Maps. Okay, so remember I said you needed a Google Maps, a Google Cloud account. So if you go to mapsplatform.google.com, it'll tell you to get started. And then it'll ask you to set up your Google Cloud account if you don't have one already. So this is based off my Gmail account. And then you request the Google Maps API. So I'll just show you. Trust me, it won't show you my complete API key. Yeah, this is my embed API, and then there's some others. So you can see I've used this a couple times. And then if you go to the Google developers website, look up the Maps embed API overview, and it'll give you the code literally just to say, hey, if you want to embed a Google Maps with a location, say Space Needle, this is the code you use. You put this in a website, boom, you've got it. So we're going to borrow elements of this iframe here and put it into our script. Okay, so we created the script output, open this up. We're basically going to embed an HTML in here. So in this script response, you see we gave a lot of examples. We only want a single part, and we're looking for set HTML. So if you notice here, we give you an example. I'm going to delete all of this. Multi-part we don't need. We give an example of, hey, if you want to output an HTML, here's how you do it. Okay, so we're going to leave a lot of this intact, but this HTML we're going to change. Okay, and we're basically going to copy and paste that iframe code in here. So let's see, iframe Copy this, put that in here. I'm gonna get rid of the height in that. I don't care about the ice screen or the that, and border, I'll put that at the end. I'm not gonna put that at the beginning. That's confusing. I just want basically this. I'll make this one line again to avoid confusion. That's all good. All good here. And let's see. At the border 0. That's just a stylistic thing, it's not required. And let's see. And that, and so, oops. What do we got here? Oh, array iframe for me. You need to do that. Okay. So that's basically it. So you'll notice in the code, it does have your place for the API key. So you need whatever API key you get, you need to paste it in here. And then for here, instead of Space Needle, you need to put in your, your latitude and longitude, right? So I'm going to get rid of this, and I'm going to do some scripting here, which is basically concatenation. Like, when I do this, you're going to see you're going to know what I'm doing here. But I'm going to add some quotations here, and in the middle, let's see, how do I do this here? There we go. I want to, instead of Space Needle, I'm going to say, hey, I could use latitude and longitude instead of like location description. So I'm going to do that. va.inputs.latitude. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to plus, need a comma in there, and then plus va inputs dot, you guessed it, longitude. Okay, and then plus, and then I add that, and that should get me. I may be messing up my things here, my quotes. So I'm going to move this into a variable. I'm just going to put this in a variable, easy peasy, equals, and I'm going to do basically what I did here. Take that out. Just makes it so much easier for me to manipulate, basically. And let's see, that way I don't need to deal with this. Yeah, this is fine. This is fine. This is fine. Yeah, that much easier to understand. And then here, instead of doing all that, I just put this is a function, right? So now I'm doing some scripting here. Plus URL, the variable, plus there. Way easier to understand. Yeah, I don't know why I have. There we go. That should be it. Okay. I must be missing a semicolon. Oh yeah, we're missing a, what I'm missing here. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna cheat a bit. I'm just gonna copy and paste the script. Okay, sorry about that, folks, but you probably get the idea. Okay, so it shows up his current location, and then I'm going to go to, so we're gonna create a static choice to ask, okay, what location do you want, right? What location do you want to show? By the way, if you're giving me comments in the chat, thank you. If you have suggestions like where the quote is, you probably saw it, and I didn't, but I didn't get a chance to look at those comments. But anyway, what office do you want to go to? Maybe as better grammar, and we'll offer either Santa Clara or San Diego, right? You can have any number of offices here, and then we're going to insert a header card. All right, and I could use script, or I'm just going to add card. This is very easy. This I can add a YouTube video card if I want. I'm going to add a large image with text. Give it a title. Doesn't really matter. Office locations, and then here I can either enter a URL for the image. I can upload an image. I can script it. I'm just going to provide an image URL. I got this from Google. I'm just going to copy and paste from my docs. Just basically an office of the image, or an image of the office, excuse me. Okay. And then, yep, we've got our locations. And then I'm going to say, create a decision node. here. And there's two locations, right? SC and SD. This one I'll leave blank. This is SC. I'm not going to do that one. I'm just going to focus on the SD one. Okay. And condition if what office is San Diego, right? This one if what office is Santa Clara. Okay. This one's just going to go straight to the, well, no, actually, it might not. Yeah, actually, this will go straight to the end. Always good practice, just close your loops, make sure you don't run into any problems there. Okay, so now we're going to show the confirmation message, right? Remember, we shared, hey, you selected the Santa Clara or the San Diego office. So we're going to do that. SD office. I'm going to say here is the location and directions to the San Diego office. I'm going to make it a little more fancy. You notice I did an emoji there. So emojis were present in Quebec. You can see Santa Clara. I, in the past, used the Golden Gate Bridge icon. Here's a surfing one for San Diego because people love to surf in San Diego. So there's that. And now I'm going to add an HTML. So the directions or the Google Maps of the office location, I'm going to use HTML. Now, the reason why I don't have to script it like I did up here is because I'm not embedding anything. I'm not embedding. I'm not using an embed API. This office location, the office never moves. It's always going to be in San Diego and in Building A. That's not moving, so it's very static. Okay. Because the geolocations are going to change depending on the person's latitude, longitude, that's why I had to script it. That's why I use the embed API. So this is just the San Diego office. And then for HTML, I need to show where San Diego's office is. How do I do that? That's very easy. I just go to googlemaps.com, look up ServiceNow San Diego. Yep, down there in Eastgate Mall. And I click share, I click embed a map, and I just copy this. Oops. Copy HTML, that's what I want. Go back to here. Boom. Get rid of the height and style, or height and width and height style 0. That's good. I'll get rid of the loading lazy. Don't need that. And yeah, that's basically it. So that'll show me the office location. So now I need to insert a link that provides the directions from the person's location to the San Diego office. So I'm going to create a link here. Link of directions. The header is going to be basically be click here. It's going to be like the topic, the title text. Oops. Click here, and then the label. This will be the link label. This is going to be the href of the link, basically. And I'm going to say something like, "Oh, open Google Maps for directions." You know, and then for the link, I'm going to script it. Don't worry. Once again, not difficult here. Let's see. I'm going to remove all of this. Basically, it's going to be a URL again. And it's basically going to be the URL of the directions. Now, how do I get the URL for the directions? Easy. Google does it for you. If you go back to the Google Maps platform documentation, they actually tell you how do you launch or provide directions for a link for directions. So it's right here, right? Directions, parameters, blah, blah, blah. They give you an example. Basically, here's a URL for directions from origin equals Space Needle, destination equals blah, and then travel mode, right? So I can just copy this and paste that in here, right? Gonna return URL. I could return the URL directly, but again, it's better to just make it its own variable, so it's better to manipulate. And then instead of origin Space Needle, right? It's going to be, if I can delete Space Needle. I'm going to say plus, and you guessed it, VA inputs dot latitude, and then plus, I probably need a comment in there, plus again, VA inputs dot longitude. So yeah, so destination, yes, I could have described it via text, but it also takes latitude and longitude variables. And destination won't be Pike Place, it'll be, I'm just going to use straight up text, ServiceNow plus San plus Diego. Travel mode, I do not plan to bike there, I plan to drive there. And yeah, that's it. All right. And then finally, we do want to Boolean. We do want to ask them, hey, would you have, it's good practice that after you've done all this, would you like, directions for another office or not? If not, you don't want to just like say, okay, here's directions, goodbye. Would you like, directions to another office? Yes or no? Directions to another office. And then finally, another decision, right? If it's yes, or if it's no, this is going to be the no. Then yes, kick them out. You're done here. Another office is false. And then if they say yes, we want to take them back to, I need to zoom out here to, nope, not there. I'll check all the way back to, need to zoom out some more, back to the what office there, right? There. That'll be yes. And that is when another office is true. Okay, so you see what I did there? This is just a good practice, very user-friendly. Give them an option to do it again. Maybe maybe they selected the wrong office, right? So you want to give them that opportunity. And if they just want to say no, I'm done, then there we go, right? Okay, so this should be good. I'm going to test it here. Now, the only thing that's going to break here is the current location because remember I didn't enter an API key, but everything else should work. And I'll even show you the variables. Even the geolocation should work. This is my current location. Now, this doesn't work because the API key is invalid, but if I go to variables, you see my latitude and longitude. So this is going to be put it into the script for the directions later on. So office locations, I'm going to, here's my image here, San Diego. There's my little thing here. Here's my map of the San Diego office. Click maps, click open Google Maps for directions, click that, and I should get my directions. You'll see here in my URL there, I've inputted the latitude and longitude because Google Maps can do that, allows latitude and longitude. And then there's my origin, and I can get there in 7 hours and 25 minutes driving. Of course, LA always has traffic and accidents, no surprise there. Cool. So that is how you build it with the help of Google. Okay. And for the script for the embed, I will paste that. I'll paste that in the community site, and I'll paste that in the YouTube. So if you didn't catch that, don't worry. But if you probably did caught it faster than me. If you have any experience coding, it's just a matter of getting the single quotes and the double quotes in the right place, basically. So then the last thing I want to show before I go to Q&A is what this experience looks like in mobile. So I'm going to bring my mobile here. So this is very relevant to mobile, obviously. I'm going to open up my mobile app. Okay, and I'm going to open virtual agent. I'm going to show you what the experience looks like in mobile. And I'm going to make it look like, I'm going to use I'm going to click no. I'm going to start a new conversation. And I'm going to show you with the API key working in mobile. So, when you're out and about in mobile, it'll work. Your geolocation will show you what your mobile phone is at. So when I'm driving, or if I'm somewhere else, it'll capture all that. So show me everything. directions to ServiceNow office. So yeah, again, it's going to ask, would you like to share your location? Yes, go for it. So whether I'm on the road, I'm at a Starbucks, it'll find me. Again, the geolocation takes a while. Now there's my current location. You can tell I'm in the ServiceNow Santa Clara office. Here's my image card. I actually added Amsterdam here, but that probably involves either swimming or flying. So I'm going to click San Diego again. Click here for Google Maps, and it's going to deep link me to the Google Maps app because I have it installed in my thing. I'm going to allow location here, and there I have it. Another, again, directions from Santa Clara. If I zoom in a little bit, all the way down to San Diego. Again, LA traffic being what it is. Boom, and then I can click preview or start, and it'll do me my drive to drive turn-by-turn directions, back to mobile. No, and I'm good to go. So that is how you use geolocation, image, coding. We showed a lot of things. I'll now open up to questions. Paul, were there any questions for me? Otherwise, I'll just read some of the Q&A.
Yeah, there's 2 questions in the Q&A and there's 1 in the chat, but let's start with 2 in the Q&A. Katie is wondering if this can be used for tracking an order, and I'm assuming she means the whole geolocation that we now showed in Virtual Agent. My guess is if the order allows for tracking and tracing, so you have any way of tracking your order, then it would be possible, but that's not really what we're doing here. We're using the user's location, either on a mobile or wherever they are, but slightly different use case. I guess it's possible to use that. I'm not sure if you have any examples, Victor.
Yeah. So to track an order, you wouldn't use a geolocation topic block. You'd probably use some other mechanism to get your latitude and longitude. Once you can get that data point, then you don't even need geolocation topic block. You can just straight up use scripting to say, hey, I'm going to create some script variables, latitude and longitude, pull the latitude and longitude from a table or from somewhere else, plug it in, and you can then basically do everything without the geolocation topic block, which is for users. So yes, it is possible. All you need is latitude and longitude.
Yep. Great, thanks. And then David is asking, what are you using for the mobile emulator?
Oh, this is just a QuickTime. So if you go to QuickTime, set movie recording, and instead of recording yourself, record your iPhone. You do need it plugged into your laptop. Then you can demo like what I'm doing here.
Yep. The same thing I always use. Make sure you select phone before you start sharing your screen, or else you'll be sharing your camera view.
Yeah. For PC, I don't know. It may require either. Actually, you can do it on Zoom, I think, or you can do it like on Camtasia or some other video recording device. I'm not exactly sure for PC. Okay, I just peeking at the chat here. Ken asks, will this be recorded? Yes, it is. It will be. I may even do some editing, edit out the dead parts of the pause parts, but yes, it will be sent afterwards. And yeah. Any other questions? Otherwise, we'll wrap it up here. We are at time. Again, thank you for joining. We will be back in a couple of weeks to show more virtual agent goodness. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to either put them in the YouTube video when uploaded by the end of this week, or put it in community. And yeah, thank you for joining, everyone. Have a good rest of your day or afternoon or evening. Thank you.